I need you to be brave. A man will come and take you away.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Hitman Absolution hard difficulty video walkthrough. This is the prologue. This is a personal contract.
First of all, try to kill with discretion.
So what I've settled on doing, guys, since there's been a lot of deliberation, this is the hardest difficulty that you have to go on to get rewarded in the game. Everything above this is literally for your own enjoyment. So I do believe that this is the one that's going to help the most people. I want to get Silent Assassin on each of the missions, but I don't know if it's physically possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get an overall ranking of Silent Assassin on per mission, but not necessarily on each of the segments that make up the missions. Because as you might know if you've played the game, you do like 4 different sections to a mission, and you can do terrible on the first 2 sections, but if you do brilliant on the last 2 sections, you can get a Silent Assassin. And I personally don't agree with it, but it's probably going to be something that I use to try and make, you know, this guide a little bit more enjoyable and impressive for myself, and a little bit more fun for your guys to get you an easier path through the level. A couple of things to bear in mind though, guys. This is very different to the older Hitmans. Very, very different. They've introduced a lot of new features, adding on top of the old ones, and they've changed some of the features that you might know and love. And it does make it a much more difficult game. And this difficulty is underneath the professional umbrella of difficulties, so don't underestimate it. Just because it's not purist, just because it's not expert, does not mean it's not difficult. I've played pretty much every single stealth game there is, and I've played them quite comfortably once I've learned what I'm doing. And this game, I know what I'm doing, I know the concept of what you're supposed to do, and it still kind of kicks your ass, and that kind of sucks. But because we do have the HUD, because we do have these elements that you won't have if you go higher than this, we can use them to our advantage. The first thing you're going to notice when somebody's getting onto you is that there's that orange circle that appears on your HUD. It's directional, so it tells you where the enemy is. And it's going to grow, and the spike's going to lead off it. And if the spike gets to its full, like, zenith, that's when you will be suspicious, and the guard who's seen you will then come to see, you know, like, what the hell are you doing? You are not caught at that point, and you will not be, you know, taken away from your points and things unless you start running. So you can use that opportunity to get to a checkpoint, to get to a door that leads you to a new area, to do a few things. You can even walk into a room, lure him in, and then pacify him. You're going to lose points overall, and it's not going to be as clean, but it's one of the things you're going to have to do to get through this game, because some sections feel impossible. And it might be just because I haven't found a sneak event or some really good way of doing it, but the disguise mechanic on this game, I do not like it at all. Because anybody who has the same disguise as you can see through it. And it makes it that you do these ridiculous moments of, like, ring around the roses on the box to try and stop those symbols of people noticing you from getting too high. And it's really strange. But I'm going to do my best, guys, to explain my paths through the levels, my logic for doing things, and some of the cheeky things I've discovered, because I do have some pretty nice routes through some of the levels. It's just some of them are really, really cheap, in my opinion. There's a ton of guys, there's not a good way through it. It doesn't seem like Hitman a lot of the time. But this first mission, you'll notice I'm using the throw the item to make a noise quite a lot. That is one of the best new features in the game. If there's ever anybody in front of you and you need to get them away, throwing the item is the best way you can do that. This is another example of it. Once we come over here, there's a coffee mug. There's the checkpoint. You will not see those on any difficulty above this. The only problem with the checkpoints is they save your state in the environment, but they do not save what you've done in the world. So if you've killed people, for some reason when you reload a checkpoint, they come back. There's a whole host of bugs around the checkpoints, and they're a big pain in the arse. There's a level coming up later on where you get downstairs and there's a guy doing a speech, and it's the best opportunity to get past the guards. So if you do it fast enough, you can get past them while they're all talking. But if you die, the checkpoint drops you on the other side of the conversation, so they're all already spreading out, and it makes it a much more difficult journey.
distance.
But now that we've got the disguise,
Beyond this
we can
door,
start progressing through the room.
turned on. It will monitor your play
And
style and
there's a couple of moments in here where you can just wait, but I decide to do it a different way.
as always, how you
And you'll
handle
notice that the lady's speaking, who's doing her favourite Sigourney Weaver impression. And this is when we can finally start playing the game. So the path I take
of interest.
is I come into the kitchen, pick up the knife. The chef will not do anything to you. The chef just thinks you're a bodyguard. The bodyguard will. He'll see through your disguise. And right there, it's tutorializing, trying to tell me that I'm in trouble, but I'm not, because that dude is pretty dumb. So once he's turned around, I can move over here. And all you have to do now, guys, is sit and wait at this bar. I get a little bit antsy and I try going towards the target a little too early, but if you wait here and you're patient, he will come to the bar and then you can deal with him, and then you can drag him behind the bar, get his key, and then get to the end of the level. But it was just one of those moments where whenever I'm recording, I feel like I should be doing things faster than I normally do them. So I wanted to kind of speed this process up, but you can't. It's just how it is. So instead, I'm going to push up towards the bookcases, because you'll notice everybody's turned away. The dude in the black suit is the guy we need. I do apologise if I sound kind of chesty, guys. I believe I'm getting a chest infection, so you'll just have to bear with me. But a lot of the times in this game, if you stand around, you'll be able to listen to people talk. You'll listen to conversations. And you can learn things. It can give away clues. It can give away, different strategies. But a lot of the times, if you wait long enough, it generally shows you a pattern. It doesn't do it on every level, and that's my main criticism of this game. I wanted to kill him here, but someone sees you almost every time because the awareness of the enemies is too high. So if you just wait, he's going to make his way back to the bar, and he's going to make himself a cocktail. And one thing I will say is the map is extremely useful in the bottom corner, but if you're going to be going any higher than this difficulty, you really can't rely on it because it removes it. But there we go. And I'm thinking perhaps if I had the fiber wire on, because it gives you a choice whether or not to subdue this guy or to kill him, maybe it would have given me the signature, the kill, and maybe I would have got a better ranking at the end. But I do this mission without being spotted, without killing anybody, and I don't get a silent assassin, so further reinforcing how I believe that some of the levels just don't seem to be possible. And the one conceit that I believe, could up the score is if I were to... Oh, by the way, I forgot the key card, so the key card will fall wherever you killed him. There you go. But one way to get more points than just the standard Hitman stuff is to do the challenges, but I didn't want to be doing all the miscellaneous tasks while I played, because it had made the guide a lot less streamlined. And for the person that's just coming for the difficulty and just coming to get through the game to get the Absolution achievement, they don't want to see me, finding all the fucking costumes and, doing all the dances and everything. They just want to see the business side of it. But now that we've made it into the later section of the level, a little bit of exposition coming up that you're not going to see, guys, because as per normal I'm going to be trimming out all the cutscenes. This game does have some pretty impressive cutscenes because the engine that they're using is really nice. I'm not aware of the IO engine. I know it says it at the start of the game, but it's surprisingly solid tech considering these games don't always... This company, doesn't always put out bangers, as I would say. And if you are observant, there's a lot of references in this game. It's pretty great. Like, there's references to Kane and Lynch. Lynch is even in the game. Kane's in the game, and there's some guy that looks a lot like Lynch, but it isn't him. And there's even, when you're in Chinatown, there's the song from the menus of Kane and Lynch 2 that plays while you're in the slums, or in the China places, sorry. Not necessarily slums, just, a bit beaten down and all orientally. So I was kind of confused on this section, guys. I didn't want to kill these folk, but it's part of the tutorial, so my logic was, do I kneecap them? and then I don't get penalised for the kills, or will I fail the mission then because I didn't get rid of them? And it turns out the game doesn't even log these as kills. It doesn't log it at all. You don't lose points for killing people. There's none of that, so I'm not entirely sure why, but I assume it's just to show you that mechanic. But don't get too excited. I will never use that ability ever, because that's not how you play Hitman, in my opinion. And you can do that now. They've made it so that the action path is a lot more, you know, warranted, but still, that's not Hitman. But that's the first level anyhow, guys. I hope you look forward to the rest of the guide. This is going to be an absolute bastard. But thanks for watching, and you take care now.